Hi, and we're going to talk about a Microsoft Word file that contains style codes that I'm advocating that we use because it helps in the layout process when the Microsoft Word file is imported into InDesign. By having certain style codes that are set up already in Word that match the same styles that are in InDesign with the correct font and color and indentation and etc. It helps on the front end to have those style codes already associated with the paragraphs. So, for instance, we will start here at chapter title is called CT. The style is CT. Heading 1 is called H1. And what we would normally consider normal text is called TX for text. TX. Heading 2 is H2. And I tried to, kind of show you what they look like here and what they represent. TX. Heading 3. And again, you're following over here. TX. And then when we get to the bulleted list here, we don't want to use that bulleted list feature. Like I said before, it's nice if the Word file is going to stay within Word the entire process, but it's not. It's going into InDesign. So we've used this letter L because we have a bulleted list cheat sheet, and we can pick and we can see, oh, I want a circle bullet, and that equals the letter L. So we're going to use L here, and you'll see why here in just a few minutes. So we wanted BL1 is BL1. BL is the middle bulleted list, and BLX is the last. Now the reason that happens is because the first bulleted list usually has a little bit more space before it, because of the previous paragraph above it. And then the BL is usually kind of sandwiched in there. And then the BLX, the last one, typically has a lot of extra space after the paragraph before the next paragraph. If you use BL for all of them, it's not that big of a deal. You don't have to stress like, oh my God, is it a BL1 or a BLX? Just remember, like, 1 is first, X is last. Anything in between is a BL. I'm recording. Then we go to the next paragraph, and again, we're back to the TX. H2 for heading 2. TX. And now we get to our numbered lists again. Same concept as the bulleted list. We don't want to use the automatic feature for numbered list. But what we do want to do is type the number. And if you can look up here, I already have the style set so that it's a hanging indent. So you would just hit like the number 1 and period, and then tab, and then type your bulleted list data there, your information. And again, we have an NL1, NL, and NLX. Again, remembering that the NL1 allows for space above, and NLX allows for space below, and the NL is sandwiched in between. And if you don't style them all correctly, if you at least get them NLs, that would be great. And then we're back to our TX. Now, if we have any notes or tips or warnings or any sidebars, I have a note head, N-O, head, for a note, sidebar heading, and then N-O is for note. So that just will tell us that that's a note, and it's a little bit different It looks a little different for you as you're looking in the Word file. Then again, we get to the PD, the production directive. I've made this big and red, and it's a directive to me to tell me that something is going to happen, that I need to do something, that like insert an image, begin a note bar, end a note bar. Heading 3, H3 again. I think you're catching on. TX. Then we got tip head, which I've named tip head. Tip. And if you notice too, these are different colors. That's only for a visual to kind of help you differentiate between the note, tip, and warning. TX. Here's a warning. H2. And then we get down here to our SBs again, our step bullets. And these are already set up so that they're italic. And there are times I know that there is Roman text within there. So all you have to do is just click off the italic to make it Roman. And again, we have the SB1, the SB, the SBX, following that same sequence, first, middle, last. And then if we have one bullet in between two paragraphs, we call it SB single. And that one is SB single. And that allows for space above and below because there's only one of them. All right, now we're going to watch and see what happens when we import this into InDesign and as opposed to the other one in InDesign.